and it just like went right to the ground. No one could touch it. Crowd went wild.
Me for the whole team, we were so excited to watch the energy. All of us killing it.
Your assistant coach, her energy, I mean, like the way she hypes up the bench, it's just beautiful.
Last season she like snapped a clipboard over her knee one time.
Next year, what does that look like?
Yeah, since I'm only a freshman this year, I do have 3 more years with Alfred State, and I'm hoping that all 3 of those years we can make it to the NCAA tournament.
On the air with Zaire. Today I'm here with the women's volleyball team. If you guys could just introduce yourself and tell me where you're from.
I'm Rocky. I'm from Schoharie, which is right outside Albany.
I'm Naomi, and I'm from San Juan, Puerto Rico.
I'm Erin, and I'm from Baldwinsville.
All right, and firstly, I just want to congratulate you guys on a successful season. You guys have any words? Like, talk to me about the season. How was it?
It started out a little rough. We wavered a lot in our energy and like ability to really show up as a team. Throughout the season, we got a lot better. Our best game was definitely Barron, which was our semifinal match for AMCCs, which I feel like we really just pulled all the pieces together and showed what we could really do.
In my part, we knew it was coming, big changes, because we have a young team. We knew that we're going to have some struggle, but it's not how we start, it's how you finish. And I think we did that. We accomplished that. Like Rocky State, our best game was Penn Barron, which I think the positive, the energy, everything was in there. And yeah, it was a great season.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with both of them. The beginning of the season definitely was a little bit of rough because we were, like, every game we had a different person on the court. Everything was different. But then definitely once we started getting closer into the end of conference and we had, like, the routine going, and then the Barron game was really when everything was able to be executed.
And I mean, talking a little bit on that energy, some of the games, the crowds, the wrestling team, I will admit, can you just talk about how that fed into you guys getting wins, plays, stuff like that?
The crowd plays a huge factor. We can hear everyone like supporting us on the bench, which helps a lot, and also like gets in the other team's head, which helps. So we love seeing our friends out there, family members, everyone like that, other teams. We love to support other teams, and we love when they come to our games as well. So it creates a really like fun, energetic environment.
I want to say about the crowd, it was really, really excited to have them in the game. They, not only the team had energy, but they also help us to gain that energy and the confidence back with those screaming and stuff. I also want to point it out to the parents. We have a great parents. They support us, and they came to our games no matter how far it was. And we have friends also that came, and then I wanted to thanks.
Yeah, that was something about our fans I really liked. Were very good about like being able to like interact with the game, keeping like the energy up, and then our fans when they'd travel like 2, 3, 4 hours just to make.
Shout out to Tim.
Yeah, shout out to
our
Tim.
number one fan.
Driving to almost every single one of our away games.
Oh, and a really big thing I noticed, like, sitting on the sideline, your assistant coach, her energy, I mean, like, the way she hypes up the bench, it's just beautiful. So, I mean, like, can you just talk to me, like, a little bit about her?
Yeah, she is crazy. I know last season, crazy good energy, I should say. Last season, she, like, snapped a clipboard over her knee one time. I don't know if that happened this season, but she definitely, like, gets to the floor and is, like, banging on the ground when we win and, like, jumping up in the air. So we love to, like, watch back the videos and see what she was doing because it's always so funny.
So my experience, I don't usually see her reactions when it happens, but I see her pictures, and they're the most funniest things ever. Her facial expressions is the best. But yeah, she brings a lot of energy just by just celebrating one single point.
Yeah, I'll never forget. It was like one of our like first games or something. My dad sent me like a video like halfway through the game. I was checking my phone afterwards, and it was literally her like crawling on the sideline, like all excited because like someone just got like an absolute like gnarly kill or something.
And I mean, just stepping away from volleyball for a little bit, just tell me about yourselves. Like, I mean, why Alfred? Your day-to-days.
So I chose Alfred mostly for the forensic science program because it's one of the best around. I also was in contact with our coach since my sophomore year of high school, and he didn't seem too sure about getting me a spot on the team, but I stuck with it and kept communicating with him, and I did end up choosing it. I live in a rural place, so the town of Alfred is much like my hometown. I loved the people here, and like I met some of the girls that were on the team, and they were really friendly and just like welcoming. So that's why I chose that. I am in the forensic science program, so my day to day is like a lot of chemistry and bio classes. We have been doing like lifts for volleyball, and then just like homework, and with finals next week, a lot of studying.
I choose Alfred because I wanted to have the experience of having volleyball and architecture at the same time, and a coach offered me that. He didn't offer it. Let me say, I emailed him. He was not interested. He was he was not interested in me, but I was on top of him, and until I got a spot on the team. And yeah, I also do architecture, like I said before, and my day to day is basically wake up, go to the computer lab. I also have a job because I have stuff to do. I want to travel. Those are my hobbies. So chicken. But I work after that. Like I said, we do live, and yes, more work and homework.
I chose Alfred because it's known for its trades and its very big technology program. Because I'm here on a brand new program. I'm here for civil engineering, which used to be a 2-year, and they hadn't had it for a number of years, but now they just transferred it into a 4-year. So day to day, I would go to lab class, and I worked heavily with concrete, and then with my surveying class, we were outside using all of our equipment like every single day that we could, and then that's really it.
So from your sophomore year, you had said you were in contact with the coach. So, Alfred was always on the map, but what about volleyball? Like, was volleyball always what you wanted to do? Did you play any other sports?
So in high school, I tried tennis. I also tried track. Didn't really stick with either one. Like volleyball was always like my number one. A lot of my family members play volleyball. My dad especially got me into it. And so I always knew that if I played a sport in college, it would be volleyball. And I definitely wanted to play a sport, but I was willing to choose a school based on my forensic science program, even if I couldn't play volleyball. So I was really glad I was able to do both, though.
I love sports. My first sport was not actually volleyball. My first sport was swimming. Like I said, I was from Puerto Rico, so all we do is swim, go to beach and stuff. So like I said, after that, I did the transition with volleyball. Why? It was the fastest game. It made me think a lot. I have to move. It's always action, and that's something I like more. After that, I changed to Puerto Rico. I moved to United States, and that's when I wanted to explore more. So in Eastridge, I decided to do basketball. I decided to do tennis. I decided to do softball, and I decided to do volleyball, of course. And yeah.
Yeah, in high school, I was very busy with volleyball, but I did not start taking volleyball very seriously until my junior year. I played field hockey every single year up until my junior year, when I decided I see more of a future in volleyball, because not every school has field hockey. It's a very growing sport because it's more of a European sport now. But I also ran track, which I'm kind of sad that I'm not able to run here for it, because I did truly love it, but I'm fully committed with volleyball.
All right. I mean, that sounds good to me. I have to ask though, like, so right here, like at Alfred, if you could play any other sport, what would it be? And I mean, with the teams this year, like where they stand, like which team would you see yourself joining?
I would say, I don't know. I always wanted to try swimming. I did it when I was younger, but nothing like really serious or competitive. But I feel like all those girls are super sweet. I'm friends with a couple of them, so I feel like that team has a really nice like atmosphere and like would just be really fun to play with. And they also have been doing like really well the past few years, so that would be kind of cool to join that team.
I love volleyball. Can I stay on my team?
No, you have to pick one.
I have to pick
You have to
somebody. Sorry. That's a good question. Well, I would say basketball. Something like fast pace, action, and yeah.
I'd have to say the hockey team. Even though they're not technically like a school team. I've known they've done pretty well. They've gone to like the club nationals, and hockey is definitely a very intense sport. And I grew up playing, so I would definitely love to get back out there if I could.
Behind us, we actually have some of your game film from Mount Aloysius. Do you guys have any favorite game moments? Whether it was this game, another game?
I think it was this game that Aaron hit the ball like straight down to the 10-foot line. That was a memorable moment
Wait,
for
I'm
sure.
sorry. I don't know, but like which one is the 10-foot line?
It's this white line here
Okay.
that goes across.
Mm.
So she like jumped up here and that's like basically straight down.
Oh.
And it just like went right to the ground. No one could touch it. Crowd went wild.
Dang. The wrestling team.
So yeah, that would definitely be like a major moment from this game.
Every single game, every single time Nay would do one of her fancy little setter dumps, always got everyone so hyped, so excited, because no one could touch it.
Thanks. I think the Baron. It was the best game for me. Not for me, for the whole team. It was so excited to watch the energy, all of us killing it, and yeah, it was the best game for me.
Yeah, Nay actually, because she just said something like, so when you're like setting the ball, but then you fake it and go to the other side, like, is that a coach that you and is that a play that you and your coach developed? Was that your idea? Like, how did that come about?
So I'm gonna tell you my story. That's something that I came Science High School, and I started doing it here. I do it more often than in the game, but then coach told me to slow down and trust my players. And yeah, that's something that we do as a strategic to open up the other team defense so my offensive can score. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but
it kind of does. Honestly, like, would you mind just explaining like volleyball? I mean, at least the basics, because like I'm lost.
about the basics, you want to explain that?
Yeah, I could try. So the basic positions are setter, outside, middle, libero, right side, and DS. So basically how it goes, someone serves the ball over. The back row usually consists of outside, DS, libero, so they pass it up. The setter sets to one of her outsides, middles, or right sides, or just like dumps it over. Anything to kind of like catch the other team off guard. Are there any like specifics that you were like wondering about? Because I know that was like pretty vague, but
Nah, I mean, other than like, what is a DS?
a DS is a defensive specialist, so they go like back row for the right sides usually. They're just like one of the best passers, or outsides. Yeah, they can go back
They
row.
also do serve for like middles, like, and then
Yeah.
the libero goes
The
in for
libero
the
will
middle,
serve for like
because
one of the
usually-
middles.
Usually the middles are jumping the most. They're always up in air playing, and so the coaches would rather not have them in the back row risking any more injury, so that they can be saved just for like the front row.
So it sounds like it sounds like
Yeah, we can
volleyball is
math.
more of like a intellectual sport, right?
It is, yeah.
It's a very like intense like mental game. 'cause
You
a-
have to think quick. You have to know what your next move is, but
but then you
you
can't,
can't
think
have it, like,
too much.
planned
Mhm.
because it depends on the situation. So
You have to be one step ahead. Try to be one step ahead on the game. I think it's something that you really need to have in volleyball because you're playing with the time. You only got 8 seconds to do everything or probably less. So yeah, it's like Erin says, it's a huge mental game.
And a lot of players, you will like see a player who's like they kind of like look like they're not like really along with like the team while they're playing because they're fighting themselves like mentally to try and get out of their head or to try and get back into the game.
And I mean, like, as a captain, I believe you are, right? Is it harder for you to also think for others and a setter? So, you know, you have to think what you want to do very quickly, see where your team is. Like, I mean, how hard is that for you?
It is really hard. I'm gonna tell you, it is really hard. I have 8 seconds to do this. See what's the other things hitters in the front. See who I got in the other team in the back row. I also got to think in 8 seconds who are my front row hitters. I also got to think what's the best position for the best play for us to run to win.
Oh,
And
there's plays in volleyball.
yes, there's different calls that I say. This one is wide,
Okay.
this one is slide,
Mhm.
different symbol. Yeah, and all that is 8 seconds. And if, like you say, as a little, not only that, I have to think about how my team is doing. Somebody has their energy down. I gotta bring them up, be a role model for them, and then yeah.
Mm. Well, I mean, so stepping back away from volleyball, just like talk about your semester, Alfred. Like, I mean, how you guys doing?
My semester's been pretty good. I only have 3 classes this year, so it should be easy, but it's still not.
I'm sorry, you said three
Um,
classes?
Yeah,
You're a-
3 4 credit classes.
Okay.
So they're
There we
all
go.
labs. I have 12 credits. Don't worry, I'm a full-time student. I'm legal, whatever. Um, but yeah, I spent a lot of time in the labs. They're all chemistry and biology classes, so a lot of tests, quizzes, studying. Um, I'm doing pretty well. I think I have like B's and A's right now, so hopefully with finals, like we'll finish out and be good. So, pretty good semester.
I'll say this semester is the one that have been the most challenging to me, but I like challenge. And so far I am doing really good compared to the last 2 year. I'm doing amazing, and yes, yeah. So a pretty good semester, and with new opportunities.
Yeah, I'm only a freshman, so my classes this year they weren't horribly difficult because it's just introduction stuff and then mostly like gen eds that we're just trying to like get out of the way and figure out. But they've definitely my core classes for my major have definitely been a little more difficult than I thought they were going to be, but I'm working through it and hopefully have a really good outcome with it.
And I mean, I actually caught you guys staring at the board a little. So, like, you guys obviously miss volleyball. Can you just talk about next year? Like, I know you guys said you have a young team. So, what's next year looking like? Any plans, goals, things you want to reach? I know you hit 2,000 assists on the season. Once again, congratulations.
Go, Nay.
But, like, yeah, so, next year, any goals you guys have for yourself? Being a freshman going into your sophomore year, how does that feel? Just, like, next year, what does that look like?
I know Coach talks about bringing in a lot of new recruits again, like he did this year. So we're looking forward to that. We definitely want to go to nationals next year, because it will be mine and Nay's senior year, our last season together. How sad. So that's like our big goal. Go back to NCAA's. Yeah, I mean, I'm blanking, so I'm gonna pass it over to Nay.
I have one more year. I'm not ready for the after that. Well, I'm very excited for my last year. I have one more year to make it to the NCAA again for the second time. I'm very excited. I have really high hope for the for the team for next year. Not only that, the whole team not the whole team. Some of the players return, which that's gonna give us a lot of huge advantage. But some of the personal goal that I have, like, thank you for the congratulations. I wanna reach to the 1,000 digs. Only 300 away. I feel I can make it, and I'm gonna make it. But yeah, I would like to leave with 1,000 at least in 2 stacks. And yeah.
Yeah, since I'm only a freshman this year, I do have 3 more years with Alfred State, and I'm hoping that all 3 of those years we can make it to the NCAA tournament and possibly do as well as we can in it and bring in a few more rings. And personal goals for me, I made third team this year, which I'm very proud about, and I held a very good ranking in hitting percentage this year, and I'm hoping to continue that next year and do even better with it.
Can you guys just talk about some influences you guys have, that's got you here, that's kept you here, especially?
Definitely my club coach, Megan Neff. She was one of my favorite coaches. I had her for several years, and she just really inspired me to continue with volleyball and go as far as I can, like being here on a college team today. So I would love to thank her and my dad, who initially got me into volleyball.
I want to thank to the 2 people that I care the most of this world. My parents, they be there Science Day 1, and I know they're going to be there Science Day. I don't know what day. But I they are the people that I want to thank for. They inspire me and they push me to do better every day.
Yeah, I definitely want to thank my first ever coach, Danielle Saylor, who was also my last coach at high school. She started out coaching my club volleyball team when I was kind of just like, oh, I'll just do volleyball just to like see. And then senior year, she was hired as the new head coach after we let go our last one. But she always was my number one supporter. She always was like, how's recruiting going? How's all this going? And then I definitely want to thank my next door neighbor for coming over one day and be like, there's volleyball tryouts in like a week. You should go try out. Like I don't know anyone on the team. You should come try out and see how it goes.
And just, I know for you at least, it's a bit of ways away, but after Alfred, like, what's the plan for you guys?
I'll probably stay near my hometown for the first few years. I don't know exactly what job I want to do, but something related to like crime labs. And then see from there. I don't know where I want to live long term, but home for the foreseeable future.
There's different plans that I'm trying to do after I graduate. One of them was planning to go back home and play some professional volleyball over there. I'm trying to continue my career after. I'm not done. Even from my hair, I'm not done. After that, if that's not the case, I was planning to become licensed in architect. And not only that, also teach students how to do architect while I'm also getting licensed.
Yeah, I definitely have thought about it because with my major, it's a very open field, especially for a woman. And I definitely want to go look out west in the infrastructures out west with like roadways because that's what I would spend a lot of time with. And I definitely want to continue coaching. I've coached a few teams here and there over the summers, during the school years. So that's something I definitely want to keep doing.
All right, well, I mean, I thank you guys for coming. Any last things you guys want to say?
Thank you so much for having us, and we'd love to come back if you want to do another podcast.
Same as Rocky said, but yeah, I want to thank you for the opportunity and hear us. And yeah, thank you so much for reaching out.
Really quick, Naomi, do you mind saying something in Spanish, to family, friends back home?
What do you want me to say?
It doesn't matter. Anything you want to say, thanking them, whatever.
In Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yo le quiero agradecer a la gente de Puerto Rico, ¿verdad? Porque yo no me olvido de ellos, no tan solo eso, a mi familia también. Y a mis padres, como yo dije, que siempre tú sabes, me están apoyando en lo bueno y en lo malo. Y sí, siempre tendré Puerto Rico en mi corazón. Y siempre seré puertorriqueña. Yeah.
I got all of that.
Yeah, I definitely want to thank you guys for giving us this opportunity, and I want to thank everyone who supported us, all of our fans who came to every single one of our games.
Yep.